It's coming.
That song again.
Is it?
It's Hella.
Yes, the source of the darkness. It's coming. This is your moment.
I'm sorry. I can't watch this.
What are you doing? You're showing weakness. You're not a warrior. You're a disgrace. The gods will punish you for this. Pick up the sword. Pick it up. Fight the darkness. Fight it. Get up. Get up. Get up and fight.
Stormy seas and lost souls. She's dreamt of this before. They say dreams are visions of our memories, thoughts and fears, as seen by our inner eye. But what if each one of us is always dreaming, even when awake, and we only see what our inner eye creates for us? Is this what hell is? A world shaped by Senua's nightmares. Maybe that's why people feared seeing the world through her eyes. Because if you believe that Senua's reality is twisted, you must accept that yours might be too.
You failed the gods. You're pathetic. Rotten. Cursed. What were you thinking? Did you really think you could win? How stupid can you be?
So stupid.
Everyone hates her. She's cursed.
The shadow.
Look at you. A warrior. Worthless. Weak. Pathetic. Go on. Feel sorry for yourself, because there is no one left to do that for you.
Everywhere. You failed. What's that?
Take it. If you're too much of a coward to fight, then end the suffering. Broken and lost. Just like your soul.
Come on. Dare.
Why go on, when you give everything and face that which torments you, only to find that it is worse than you could have imagined? Why go on? Is it really so weak to ask this? Or are we just so afraid of the honest answer that we do not dare pose the question? Sometimes the answer lies in a memory, a feeling, a song.
It's not real. It's a trick. It's not real. It's real. Listen to it.
She can't give up.
Dillian. It's
Not like this.
It's not real. It is real. It's a trick. Don't trust it. Maybe you're already dead.
Who are you?
Do you still believe in me, Senua?
No, it's not. It's a trick. She knows it's him. It's a trick. He's already dead. He can't be here. It's impossible.
Dillian.
Come to me. Please.
The light. Go towards the light. It's him. There he is. It can't be him. It's just a trick. It's in your mind. No, he's here. It's in your mind. It's real. What's happening? Go towards it. There it is. You're imagining things. It's Dillian. He's gone. You were too slow. How could you? Keep going. How could you? Keep going. Ignore the pain. I told you it was to trick you. I told you. Where are you going? See, there's nothing to follow. Come on.
Before she first met him, she was not in a good place. Just a teenager, but not like the others. Barely functioning, she rarely left the house. Her father's in-bell made sure of that. Only occasionally did she venture out on her own, collecting firewood and herbs, errands out in the Orkney Plains. That was her world. Like this one. Barren and lonely.
Where's he gone? He's got something to tell you, hasn't he? He knows you're here. Stop sleeping, Dillian. Come on. Everything's stronger. You'll get things stronger. It's already disappeared. Nothing lives here, not even you. It's in your mind. You think you can see it, but it's in your mind.
There he was, the lone figure of a boy, sword play under the shade of a tree. She remembers the first time she saw him. To her young eyes, he moved as if dancing, and the world danced with him. The gloom lifted, and for the first time in years, she felt a ray of hope.
He's there. Under the tree. You can see him. Come on, you have to keep Dillian, just wait. Keep going.
The Northmen tell of a great hero. His name is Sigmund. His father's hall was built around a great tree, and one day Odin comes and thrusts a sword into the tree, a gift to whomever can release it. Many try, but the sword only comes out at Sigmund's touch. His brother-in-law, King Siggeir, wants it, but Sigmund refuses him, so King Siggeir plots revenge. He invites Sigmund and his brothers to a feast, but when they arrive, they are met with an army, not a warm welcome. King Siggeir captures Sigmund and his brothers, steals his coveted sword, and readies them for execution. The Northmen tell of a great hero. His name is Sigmund. His father's hall was built around a great tree, and one day Odin comes and thrusts a sword into the tree, a gift to whomever can release it. Many try, but the sword only comes out at Sigmund's touch. His brother-in-law, King Siggeir, wants it, but Sigmund refuses him, so King Siggeir plots revenge. He invites Sigmund and his brothers to a feast, but when they arrive, they are met with an army, not a warm welcome. King Siggeir captures Sigmund and his brothers, steals his coveted sword, and readies them for execution. Death for Sigmund and his brothers seems certain. But the king's wife is Sigmund's sister, and she begs for mercy and implores the king to chain them up instead. He agrees. Not for mercy, though, but because he plans an even more cruel and lingering death. Chained to a tree in the forest that night, a she-wolf comes and devours one of Sigmund's brothers. She returns, ravenous, night after night, until only Sigmund is left. The next day, Sigmund's sister sends a servant with honey to smear on Sigmund's face. But to what end? Well, that night, when the she-wolf appears again, you'll never guess what happens. As the she-wolf licks the sweet honey from Sigmund's face, he bites the wolf's tongue. The she-wolf pulls away, but Sigmund holds on. The chains break, and he is free. After his escape, Sigmund lives like us, hidden in the forest. His enemy, King Siggeir, believing him dead, as his sister plots revenge. And for vengeance to succeed, even the great Sigmund needs help. So she sends her sons to him. But their blood is weak and corrupted, and they're put to death by Sigmund. So his sister hatches a new plan, one that is cold of heart and pure of blood.
Day after day, watching from afar, she mimicked him, perfecting her own secret dance, wishing those fleeting moments of light would stretch out to last forever.
Sigmund's sister trades shapes with a sorceress, and in disguise, she lies with her own brother. She gives birth to a son named Sinfjotli. After a time, she sends him to the forest to Sigmund. He tests the boy and finds him strong and fearless, and so they go to take their vengeance on King Siggeir. But luck is not on their side. They're captured, and Siggeir has them buried alive.
No, it's a trick. It's an illusion. It's not real. It's real. It's real. You want to believe it's real, but it's a trick. You're deluded. Where are you going? Where is she going? What is she following? You can't even fight. It's just deception.
How does he so effortlessly court the world and bliss? If only she could do the same. See the world through eyes anew and dance with it, just like he does.
What's your name?
Senua.
I haven't seen you before.
I don't leave home much.
Oh, Zeno's daughter.
I have to go.
Wait. Who taught you to fight like that?
No one.
No one.
Well, I watched you, and
You learnt all of that from watching me? You should become a warrior, you know.
me?
I'm Dillian. I'm here for the warrior trials. Just come and watch. And bring your sword.
You can't put it into words. That moment when you look into the eyes of the one who is supposed to reassure you, make you feel safe. It only takes an instant. Fear swallows you before you have a chance to make sense of it. And darkness becomes a part of who you are.
You killed him.
But her world changed the day the Northmen took him from her. Senua knows that there's no going back to how things were. That there's nothing to go back to at all.
Stay still, stay quiet, hide, don't tell her.
Their gods can see into your mind. They will use this power to destroy
They
you.
won't stop me. I can still feel it.
Whatever's left of him, they will never let him go.
I'm not gonna let him rot here!
You're the one rotting here.
Leave me alone!
You will die here.
No!
And all your suffering will have been for nothing.
Shut up!
Senua.
Dillian? Is that you? I'll find you, my love. I promise.
The light by the tree. Can you see him? You want to believe it. Is he not real? Is he not? You're alone in these mountains. Is that Dillian? Nothing lives here. You won't survive. You met him by the tree. She met him by the tree. Maybe it's a sign, the tree. What's he trying to tell you? He's waiting for you by the tree.
As Sigmund and Sinfjotli are being buried alive, Sigmund's sister throws an armful of straw into the grave mound. Hidden in the straw is Sigmund's sword, the gift of Odin. They cut their way out of the grave mound and set fire to Siggeir's hall. The king burns to death. Sigmund calls to his sister to come out so that she may live and be honored. She does come out, but only to tell him the truth. That she had slept with him, her brother, to beget a strong avenger. I am not fit to live, she says, and walks back into the fire. Strike vengeance from your heart, Senua, as there is always a heavy price to pay. And here is the end of Sigmund's story. He was a fierce and great warrior who fought many battles. But one day, an old man came onto the battlefield. Although shadowed by a hood, Sigmund saw that he only had one eye. The man raised his spear, and Sigmund struck at it with his sword, but the sword shattered into pieces. Sigmund then knew that this was Odin, and thus that victory could not be his. He bowed his head and accepted his end. Dying, he tells his wife that she is with child, and that her son will one day make a great weapon out of the fragments of his sword. The sword named Gram.
it. Don't take it. It's a trick. It's a trick. It's ending. It's coming from there. And there. Where's it coming from? She started something.
What's happening?
Senua, imagine a sword that can slay gods. Its name is Gramr. It was forged by the god of all Northmen, Odin, and gifted to Sigmund, a great warrior.
I need this sword. It's important. Can you help me?
The sword appears whole, but it is an illusion. It shattered into shards long ago. It is said a great warrior can reforge Gramr by answering the trials of Odin, one for each shard. The roots of the Tree of Death will take you to new lands where you will face the trials.
Go to the shards. Go to the shard.
Go to the shards.
What's the shard? Find it.
It's the metal runestones.
It's in front of you.
Find it.
The metal. The runes.
You need that sword.
Go to the shard.
Find the shards. Where is it?
Find it. There it is.
Focus.
There's the shard. Focus.
Focus.
Use your eyes. Look.
Get closer.
What can you see?
Go to it. It's not safe. Don't go near
A king in the north forced the dwarves to make a sword that would never fail and never rust, and that would slice through iron and stone and bring victory to its bearer. But the angry dwarves cursed it. It would be the death of a man every time it was drawn, and it would be the death of the king. Let me tell you about the sword Tyrving.
I don't recognize this place.
Where are we? Where is she? It feels wrong. Where are we now? Burial mound. So strange that we go to such lengths to bury death. Something so very ordinary, inevitable. It's as if we conspire to hide death, because we have no answer for it. But when it comes and forces itself onto our friends or loved ones, then comes the reckoning.
Dead in the air. You can feel the dead. Why would he do this? Turn back. Why would he bring her here? It's not safe. Why would he do something
Senua,
so dangerous?
you remind me of a story that the Northmen tell about a young woman warrior. Her name is Hervor, the daughter of a berserker born after he was killed. She's a wild, willful child who teaches herself to fight with weapons. When she learns where her father is buried, her only desire is to reclaim the treasure buried with him, but above all, the sword, Tyrving.
for the trials. Like when we first met, remember? I'll find him.
What's that? Did you hear that? Nothing. Was that voices?
Is that his voice or the voice of the dead?
Not Dillian.
Dillian's calling to you. Can you
Where
hear
is
him?
he? Where is he?
He sounds like he's getting further away.
Have you lost him?
You're going the wrong way.
Are you lost and have you lost him?
Where are you? Turn left.
Turn right.
Over this way.
What was that?
This way. Follow this way.
Herva disguises herself as a man to join a band of warriors, and soon becomes their leader. When they come to the island where her father is buried, her men do not want to go ashore. They say that evil haunts the island, and that it is a worse place by day than other places are by night. Fearless, she lands alone. There are many grave mounds, and all of them have ghostly flames burning over them. She comes to the grave mound of her father after passing through these ghostly fires, as though they were mist. The flames I passed through were real enough. Damn the Northmen to hell.
Don't touch the walls.
You don't know what they might do.
Turn back.
She has to keep going.
It's not safe here.
She has to keep going.
If you go down there, no one can save you.
It's too scary.
I can hear him.
Within the burial mound, Herva calls on her father to wake from death and bring her his sword. She says that it is not seemly for the dead in their grave mounds to bear valuable weapons. Her father answers with words of warning. You go to your doom. Baleful runes surround you. You have gone mad. You have lost your mind. Your thoughts are confused. It is dangerous to wake the dead. Like I said, she reminds me of you.
The voice is getting louder. Listen.
Dillian. Listen, listen, listen. It's him.
Listen. It's getting louder.
There he is.
You're getting closer.
Keep going.
Senua, follow the voice.
You're nearly there.
Dillian's voice.
It's him. He's going to save you.
Find the voice.
Find him.
Find another way. It's not working.
You have to use your mind. Where can you go?
You're failing. Find another way.
Think. Focus. Use your mind.
Where's he gone? He's disappeared. You let him slip through your fingers once again.
Think clearly. You have to find another way. There has to be.
Don't doubt yourself. You'll never find it.
She doesn't recognize it.
Yes, you do. You know
She doesn't.
it. Listen for his voice. Listen.
It's not him.
It's not him.
We told you. We told you it was a trick. doesn't sound like Dillian. What's happening? It's not him, it can't be. What's that sound? The voice is changing. What? That's not Dillian. That doesn't sound...
Herver ignores her father's warnings. The grave mound opens, and it seems to be full of fire. Again, Herver demands her inheritance, but her father warns her that the sword is cursed and would be the bane of her family. But he relents and brings her the sword. She leaves the island with it, but the curse holds true, and death would follow in the years to come. And so, Senua, the misdeeds of a father have cursed his daughter.
It's not Dillian.
Don't stop now, don't give up now, find a way. You're too close to stop. What's in there?
wants me to face my fears. Father? I'm leaving. I've decided. I think it will be good for me.
It's the darkness. It's speaking through
No,
you.
Dad, it's me. I think I can beat it. In my own way.
I can see the darkness in your eyes, child.
I met a boy.
Boy.
The chief had son.
No.
He said he could help me.
It's a trick.
He said I could be normal.
Normal.
Yes.
No boy is going to save you. No one can. When they see the rot growing inside you,
No!
they will turn their back on you. The gods can only fix you through my hand. You're going nowhere.
No.
You will not defy the gods. Come, child, take my hand. Come, Senua.
I am leaving!
You cannot escape the darkness. Your curse will make everyone suffer. You will have blood on your hands!
It's done. You did it, but there's more. Going. There's more. You're tired, but you have to keep going. There's still more. There's always more to do. It's not going to be easy. Can you do another one? It's too much. Have you got the energy? She hasn't got the energy. No. Too much to do.
I want to tell you a story about a god of the Northmen called Balder. The second son of Odin. He was beautiful, good and wise. He was fair of feature, he spoke fair words, he gave fair judgments. Light shone from him. Only good things were told of him. Yet he was the first of the gods to die.
You've come this far, but the bridge is broken.
There's no way you can fix it.
What do you do now, Senua?
Face. What is it?
What does it see?
Get closer. Be careful.
It's not safe.
Trust us.
What does it see? Where are we?
What is this?
It's the same.
Different.
It's another world.
Another world.
It's lighter.
It's nicer. I like it here. Can we stay?
Let's stay here.
I like the way it feels.
It's safe here.
It's calm here.
It's light here.
It's nice.
The bridge. It's not broken. It's fixed.
What happened?
The bridge is fixed.
Let's cross it.
The Northmen tell this story about the death of Balder. It begins with dark dreams. Night after night, Balder dreams of his own death, and the gods fear for his life. So Balder's mother makes everything in the world: fire, water, iron, stone, earth, wood, beasts, birds, serpents, poison, sickness. Swear an oath not to harm her son. One by one, they each make their vow. Neither weapons nor wood will injure him, Balder's mother boasts. Only Loki, father of Hela, the mistress of death, is not amused.
Dillion, is it?
Don't forget.
You can feel it.
Can feel his presence.
You need the runes to fight Dillion.
You need Dillion.
He's waiting for you.
He always said he'd wait.
He's close.
He cares about you. Feel he's close. He loves you.
His love calling you. Dillion. Dillion, we're here.
Dillion.
We're nearly here.
Go through it.
It's dangerous.
Follow it.
What's behind the gate?
Where will it take you?
It's not safe.
Dillion.
There he is.
There he is.
What are you waiting for?
Quick, find a way.
Find him.
Go through it.
Before he disappears.
Dillion, don't lose him.
He's slipped away too many times.
Always let him disappear.
Dillion, there he is.
Quick.
Where is he?
Where's he gone?
We're in the wrong world.
He's not here.
She's in the house.
He's not in this world.
He's in the other one. He's in the other one. He's in the dark world.
the dark.
The dark world. Do you remember the way he stroked your hair? Do you remember the way you felt?
The world once seemed so simple. Black and white. Darkness and light. Narrow dividing lines of our own making.
It might not be
Dillian taught her to see further. To peek through the cracks and see the worlds of colour stretching away from the gloom. And Senua explored new paths into the unknown.
The gods feast and rejoice and amuse themselves by throwing spears and stones at Balder, striking at him with sword and axe. But he comes to no harm, whatever they do. The gods never cease to wonder at this great marvel. But Loki shapes himself into a woman and asks Balder's mother, "Is it really true that all things promise to keep him safe?" "I did not ask the mistletoe," Balder's mother confesses. "I thought it was too young." Oh dear.
What does it feel like to be in love?
Do you remember him whispering in your ear? Senua.
Do you remember the way he looked?
You can't go up
You
there.
can't go
He's
up
not
there.
in this
Keeps
world.
fighting. Not in this world. You can't.
Do you remember him whispering in your ear?
Do you remember the way he stroked your hair? Do you remember the way he felt? Do you remember how he made you feel? He's the reason she's alive at all. Dillian saved her.
You owe your life to Dillian.
You owe everything to him. He didn't believe that she was cursed.
He saved you when everyone else turned their backs.
Dillian saved you from them.
Do you remember the smell of his neck?
Senua, you've got it.
Why isn't he here?
He's gone.
He's in the dark world.
He's gone to the dark world.
You're in the wrong world.
He's in the other
The
world.
dark world.
Without
He believed in you.
your love because he believed in you.
Nobody will love her now.
Can you remember what love feels like?
Look what happens to the
She destroys the thing she loves. You have no choice.
Where are you taking me?
He's up there. How do you get up there? There's a way. There is a way up there. Find the way. She can do it. You're nearly there. She's find the way. Darkness is swallowing you both.
Loki makes a dart out of mistletoe and goes to the gods as they throw things at Balder. The blind god, Huth, was there. Loki asks him why he wasn't taking part. Huth says, I cannot see where Balder stands, and even if I could see him, I have no weapon. Loki replies, here is a wand. I will tell you where he stands. And Huth throws the mistletoe at Balder. It pierces through him, and to everyone's horror, Balder is killed. And for this, Huth is slain.
He led you astray.
You should have listened to your father when you had the chance.
Why didn't you listen to him?
This love has tortured you.
And it tortures me. The curse is strangling you just like it strangled him.
She should have listened to her father.
Why didn't she listen to her father?
She thought she could defy her father.
The Northmen tell how the gods mourned Balder. His body was to be burnt on his ship, but they could not manage to push it into the sea, and sent for a giantess to do it. She comes riding a wolf and has vipers for her reins. She pushes Balder's ship into the sea with such force that the ground shakes and the rollers burst into flames. When Balder's wife sees his body carried onto the ship, her heart bursts with grief, and she dies. She's put next to her husband, and the pyre is lit, sending the dead to hell. But even so, the gods cannot accept his death.
You have no chance for love now.
Nobody will love you again.
Ever again. You can.
Years had passed since she left her father. She trained hard alongside her friend, Dillian. She saw things no one else could. Patterns, shapes, movement.
You're cursed.
An intuition that made her an exceptional warrior. Friendship turned to love. But the shadow of darkness never let her go, and she was caught between two worlds.
that of Zinbel and her past, and Dillian, her future. Two realities tearing at her soul.
She is pure darkness. Doesn't know who killed him, but we do. Your curse has claimed Dillian. Poor Dillian. He didn't know he was kind. He believed you. Wasting your time. You have no time for this. Speed up. These rooms, it's part of their game. They've set you trials to distract you. They've set you up, and now they're going to watch you. What if these trials mean nothing? Laughing at you. You are guilty. Closer to Dillian. Was it worth letting this get in the way? What if they are just to tire you out, to make you weak before the battle?
Overcome with grief, the gods send Hermod to ride to Hell and ask Hela to let Balder return home. All the gods are weeping, he says. Are they? Asks Hela. We shall see if he is truly missed. If everything in the world will weep for him, he shall go back to the gods. But if even one thing refuses, Balder stays with me. The gods send messengers everywhere. Weep for Balder, weep him out of Hell. And everything wept. Men, beasts, earth, stone, trees, metal, everything. Except for a giantess they find in a cave. Balder was never my friend, she says. Let Hel keep what she has. The Northmen say that the giantess must have been Loki in disguise.
He was the only one she could trust. Could she trust him? They've squashed him till strangled. The curse cannot be undone. That are most precious to you.
Nobody will love her now.
Can you remember what love feels like?
Look what happens to the things she loves.
She destroys the things she loves.
The Northmen tell how the gods punished Loki for Baldur's death. They captured him and took him to a cave. They fetched his 2 sons and turned one into a wolf, and he ripped his brother apart. The gods used Loki's own son's entrails to tie him down and turned these bonds to iron and dangled a poisonous serpent over his face so that its venom would drip onto him. Each time the venom drips onto Loki's face, he writhes in agony. The Northmen say that is the cause of earthquakes. A reminder, perhaps, that if even gods must accept death, then so must we.
Dillian saved you. Dillian cared for her like no one else has.
Dillian's the only reason she's still alive. What if this is pointless?
What are you doing?
Every trial is pointless, and there's another way.
Why did you think you could make this work? You keep seeing runes. You see runes everywhere. Everywhere? But what if they're not real? What if they don't actually make sense?
What if they're a trick?
The gods were lying. Do you
You think it makes sense, but really the gods are playing with you.
It makes sense in your mind, but it doesn't make sense in the world.
You remember meeting him beneath the tree. It doesn't mean anything.
You can't read this language. You don't understand.
Sinbel was right.
You're wasting time.
You're cursed.
You'll never succeed.
Oh, slow! Quicker!
What if they're all about wasting your time, just delaying minute by minute by minute? What does she think she's doing? You're special. She thinks she can.
They mean nothing.
Special.
The gods are just...
Messing with her.
It wouldn't be
Be the first time.
Dillian! It's not safe. You're going to fall. Dillian never much cared for the underworld. You're going to fall. And looked dimly upon the druids, like her father, Sinbel.
Steady, she can do it. You can do it.
I guess he took after his father, the chieftain who believed nothing he couldn't see,
Very careful.
and he happened to be blind. She felt safe in Dillian's arms, had to see the world through his eyes. And slowly, the darkness that had bound her so tightly began to unravel.
Go to him. Go to him.
That's it. Quicker.
Quicker.
Be quick. Be quick. Be careful. Your fault. He's disappeared. You've lost him to the sea. He's gone. You've lost him to him. Just gone to the water. He's drowned.
Senua, your father cannot understand your darkness. He cannot see through your eyes. No one can. My own father was born blind. Doesn't have the faintest idea of what the night looks like. The word dark to him means as little as the word light. So someone is afraid of the dark. Should we fix them by taking away their sight? Would you give up the beautiful world that you, and only you, can see just to be rid of your nightmares? Or is this the price you pay for the gift you have? A gift that makes you so special in my eyes. Just another part of the person I love.
I left for the wilds to protect you from my darkness. Because I love you. it made it worse. I'm so sorry.
What if this is pointless? What if you're wrong? What if this has nothing to do with the sword? What if we're wrong? The sword will never be yours. What if this is the end? It's just a trick. It's just a pointless test. You've been fooled before, you could be fooled again. You're being tested. You don't know. It's just their game for you. You never know which way it's going to go.